over the last few days, it seems like it's inescapable. That random emoji of a white P with a blue background. Why is everyone pushing it? What does it mean?
Just P like. Got you.
Who is Alex?
What did we do? Oh, we don't got to tell y'all that. I know, because you're racist. That ain't P. You're a racist prick.
Why did he just fuck a cup of water?
Give me a chance. I promise I won't mess up no more. Everybody tell her to give me one chance. Tell her to give me one more chance.
If you're watching this, you probably know the answer to all these questions. And I do too. I just knew it would make for a good intro. So anyway, what actually is P? Well, here's what the man who made it, Gunna, claims it to be.
Like it start with player, but then when you just start pushing it, like when you just started pushing P, it's like everything I'm doing is really just P. Like you know what I'm saying? I came in, he said I'm sharp today.
That coat,
I'm sharp this morning. I'm pushing P early.
Now, if what he said didn't make sense, which it probably didn't, then I'll try to explain it a little better. In all reality, it's just a new word for something cool or good, a basic descriptor for anything deemed positive by the user. For example, liking this video, that's pretty P. Not watching the whole video, now that's not very P. Okay, I think you get it. Either way, even with the absolute pointlessness of the word, it seems to have taken off way more than I think anyone could have expected. Every time I scroll through my Instagram feed, I am absolutely bombarded with tons of memes and references to P and how it is being pushed. But to see how we got to this point, I think it's important that we take a step back and look at its origin. As far as I can tell, the first time the term was used was in December 9th of last year, when in one of many Instagram posts hyping up his new album, Gunna noted in the comments that he was indeed pushing P, and that his album DS4 was coming soon. After this post, the usage of P would persist through Gunna's own posts, as well as Young Thug's, Future's, and any other artist in close relation to the Young Stoner Life Records family. The P phenomenon would continue to build up until very recently, when Gunna finally dropped his album, and with it, one of the songs featuring Young Thug and Future, aptly named Pushin' P. After the release of the album, it seemed like everyone in the rap industry was already on board with the use of P, at least to show their support for Gunna's album and help hype him up. All this extra publicity from the industry also seemed to pay off, as Gunna absolutely smashed his original first week sales record and almost went #1 on Billboard, but came out only 2,000 sales short of the much more popular artist The Weeknd. Still a very impressive feat. While P was already popular at this point, there was one event that would seemingly blow it up to the point it is at now. In the afternoon of January 14th, Gunna and Young Thug were boarding a private jet they booked in order to make it to their concert, as well as an interview with the Breakfast Club in New York City. Gunna recalls that tensions were already high, as the pilot was already standing outside the plane, waiting to ID check them before they even boarded, something he says is pretty unusual.
First of all, when we pulled up to the plane, he outside the plane like this, IDs. I had never...
Outside the plane?
Outside the plane.
I never heard of that.
I never heard of that.
After this, one of the members of Gunna's flight did not have his ID on him and promptly was asked to leave, which he claimed he did with no argument. Gunna also noted that the flight attendant refused to get the KFC he ordered for the flight, forcing him to fly on an empty stomach.
So now, I'm like, man, I still own, before he take off, bring the food. She come back, she like, well, we didn't get the food. We thought the food that y'all ordered, the place was closed. I'm like, what? No, they ain't, but whatever. And
I mean to cut you off. I gotta know what y'all rich niggas be eating. What you was eating?
Finger licking. I was just in Miami.
Okay.
Trying to go finger licking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I'm trying to go finger licking.
All right, okay.
After the incident with the flight attendant, the pilot was upset and said that he was kicking the rappers off the plane for disrespecting his flight attendants. Although Gunna refused to leave, liking his valiant efforts to the civil rights activist and icon, Rosa Parks.
Man, everybody get off the plane.
What?
Man, no. Felt like Rosa Parks. No. I ain't moving.
Although, even with Gunna's I Have a Dream moment, they were no match for the racist pilot Alex. After this incident, though, a viral moment in the P movement would be officially born with this clip.
Look, my fans told you you're not P. My fan, he said, Alex, you're not P. You ain't P, Alex. You pushing B, bitch.
So now that you've been caught up with the P movement, I think it's time we look at some of my personal theories on how and why this movement came to be as popular as it is. The first theory is that Gunna, Young Thug, and Future made it up as a sort of social experiment to see how far their influence could go. Now, although this is interesting, I don't know if it necessarily makes much sense.
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Throughout the years, they have demonstrated their influence, especially with Young Thug. Words like slat and slime would likely not be as popular as they are today if Thug and his crew never started using them as regularly as they do. So to that extent, it doesn't seem likely, as Thug and crew have already seen time and time again how strong their influence actually is. And to make a whole entire new piece of lingo to test it just doesn't seem realistic. My second theory is that it was simply a marketing attempt for the upcoming album. Something that many other celebrities don't have, but Gunna, Young Thug, and Future have is their natural influence. Unlike many other celebrities who try and push corny things, their audience will usually see through the act and see the ulterior money motives that they have. Yet, with Young Thug and the rest, it seems to not be that way. No matter how corny and outright ridiculous some of the things they push are, they always seem to catch on due to their years of outward genuineness towards their fan base and their extremely unique and likable personalities. So what's stopping them from combining forces and creating an internet trend for a few days? I mean, they definitely have showed it is possible. My next and final theory is a little bit on the darker side. And I definitely don't want to accuse these guys of anything, but at this point, it seems to be a well-known fact that artists and labels can buy their influence and perception from blog sites and other forms of media. And with this, what I am leaning towards is that the P campaign may have been paid for by Gunna's label in an attempt to increase sales for his album. Now, do I have any evidence towards that? Not really. Besides the abundance of seemingly out of nowhere P memes coming from different Instagram pages, there isn't much to support this claim. But at the end of the day, it is interesting to think about how our perception of people really can be bought by these pages, even if in this specific case, that may not be what's actually happening. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Wanted to try something a little bit different. I know it's kind of goofy, but I've been seeing this Pushin P everywhere, so just thought I'd make a video on it. Peace.